everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, hasn't it? Well, it's been a while since I've been waiting to give you guys a review on Centaurworld Season 2. Now, fair warning, this does have spoilers in it, so as you can see in the title. So if you haven't seen the Season 2 yet, please do go see it in full entirety. It is amazing, and because there are going to be spoilers in this video, you can go watch it in a single day. I recommend you do. Or you can, just wait it out, because this is the final season of the series. Sadly, there's only to be 2 seasons of Centaurworld. I wish there was more. But since we're past that, yep, spoiler warning there. Let's get the review started. So, I really can't remember the first episode now. Because, oh, yeah, Horse is going around trying to recruit people to be, like, centaurs to be in the army. And there's the musical of it, and she crashes a wedding, a Moltar wedding to be precise. And I'm like, oh, this is a wedding, and it's just so awkward. And I'm just like, oh, Horse, you really can't read the room very well, can you? And, traveling all around the world, meeting with people, talking to Moltars, Horse stars. I'm wondering what happened to the Tornado Tar, or, the big horse tornado person. Like, are they dead? Like, it's just that show's meant for kids, and yet, yeah, if you're still watching it, even though I told you the spoiler warning, yeah, Ryder, she gets stabbed, like, right through the stomach. It's shown on screen. There's, like, no blood or anything, but she just gets full-on stabbed. Several characters do. The, elk, I can't remember his name. The guy, the Nowhere King, he, is almost drowned to death. Yeah, this show's meant for kids. It's not really meant for kids. Yeah, the season finale is definitely not meant for kids. I recommend keeping your eye on your kid if you are watching it with them. Yeah. Ryder gets stabbed, and we, Horse goes all around places. I'm trying to remember the episode. Oh, good grief. I only, watched it, 2 days ago, and I can't remember how it happened in the episode. Oh, no. Let me check on my Netflix. Oh, no. I forgot. Oh, this is embarrassing, guys. I'm so sorry. Usually I'm better than this. Usually I do my reviews right after I watch it, but it was so late at night and I never got the chance to until now to review. Um, but I remember other parts of the episode which are really good, which was Horse has the magical ability to see into people's backstories. I know that may sound weird, but she can. Also, Comfortable Doug's is in the show too, so don't worry, you big Comfortable Doug fans. You are remembered. He plays an actual big part, and there's actually quite a couple of callbacks. And also, we learn from Glendale that Glendale stole, you know, I forgot his name. The tree guys, you know. Gary. What? No, not Gary. Now, what is his name? The guy, the tree guy. Oh, Jebry. Jebry. Yeah. Glendale has his jacket the whole entire time. And then when he puts it on, he catches on fire. So, yeah. Also, Stabby, which is one of the characters, Rascal, no. Rascal, get off my computer. Baby, I have that on my siege. Thank you. We learned that Stabby, one of the Minotaurs that was in Centaurworld that got changed like Horse did, turns Tiny into a baby. And so we know that they get changed. Which is really interesting, because at the very end, we get to see them, I wish the series kept on going, and, we could see all of them, transform them, help them and everything, but I understand why they couldn't do that. Probably, I don't know, I just wish there was more to this show. And I say this with all series at heart, I recommend it. I don't usually have a format for these things, so you probably are just now leaving at the 4-minute mark, which I'm probably going to make this video 10 minutes since, YouTube algorithm. I would recommend this show, but to a little bit of an older audience than kids. It's a great show, yes, but it does talk about serious things and does have some language. I mean, Zuya's does say crap. I'm not kidding. You know, it has some dark themes, some really bad body horror with the Nowhere King and what happens to him at the end. I wouldn't recommend this for like little toddlers. It may look like a little toddler show, but do not let your kids watch this without, you watching over them, because it's a great show to watch together. Family bonding. That's always a good thing. I'm hoping there's gonna be a movie. If there is ever gonna be a movie, I hope it comes out, because this would make a great movie of like something else like coming out of the Nowhere King or something, and maybe like a mini series or a spin-off. That'd be nice. Sorry about that. I meant to click OBS. Some sort of like mini series or something, or like something with the shamans. We see like what it was like before Centaurworld, like the Nowhere King became the Nowhere King. We got to see their lives. That would be kind of interesting. Maybe like I don't know, like some other stuff. Maybe like the general. Spoiler warning for him, by the way. He's actually the bad guy. Even though I felt like it really wasn't built up because we didn't really get to know the general. But maybe like we weren't supposed to, and it was supposed to be like, oh my gosh, he lied to us. Like we learned a lot about him at the season finale. Like, oh man, the general fell in love and they got separated. And then we later learn on that the general is technically the elk guy. And so we learned that that's not very healthy. Which brings up the question, can they have kids in the first place? Like, they don't need to, but can they? That's what my question is straight to kids. Like, how would that work out? The general, he's really evil and such. He falls off a cliff, dying in the end. You don't see, the mystery lady kill him at the very end. Does she get a name? I don't think she does ever get a name. I think she's still just known as Mystery Lady. Well, if she does, then I'm truly sorry I forgot. But she... Oh, gosh. Let me read that. There are only 8 episodes in this one. Oh, yes, I remember. I just checked Netflix to see what the episode was about. I remember. She went to the horse tars, basically Centaur's trademark. I'm doing air quotes. You can't tell because of my model, or because I'm a deer. I'm planning to get a new one, by the way, guys. Maybe if you want me to keep it, please do tell me. And they're all like, oh, they're big and strong, but they're very, very elegant. But for some reason, the leader of the Centaur's trademark creeped me out. And also the little kid. Like, what was with him? Why was he in, like, black and white and such? Or is that supposed to be, like, a reference or, like, a nod to something? If so, I didn't know, and it just creeped me out. He's like, Mommy, I want the ball. Oh, dear, that's not a ball, but I want it. Okay. Like, he's obviously not alright in the head. So, I don't know what's going on with him. Is it supposed to be a reference? Oh, my cat just jumped onto the bed. Rascal, do you mind? I'm recording something. I'm skipping this in, by the way, if you're watching. Okay. And so you learn that they really don't want to fight, and a lot of them, horse, the way she's used to doing it is that she's used to just everyone wanting to fight anyways. So she has to, like, everyone else does it, and then she feels sad because she can't really do it. So over and over and over again, until she realizes that her family and friends are really helping her and such, it doesn't really matter. She's doing it for their own good. And then in episode 2, that it's the fandom episode, what I like to call it. Basically, the birds, the bird centaurs, I'm just gonna call them centaurs because I mispronounce the words all the time. basically like the fandom. They love all the characters except for Womwink. And do I blame them? No, I do not. Have you seen Womwink? She is not okay in the head. She is my least favorite character as well. One of my favorite characters are actually the tree ones, the tree shamans for some reason. I don't know what about them, but they just seem nice. And so, they talk about all of that, they're like, oh, I hate that how, like, they took it off screen. Which is an inside joke, or not really an inside joke, but a joke about how they couldn't see inside the rift, but we can. And they're like, yeah, we want it redone. Why did Horse stay? And so, because they didn't know. It's really interesting. Hold on, I need to get a drink. Hold on, guys. I'm so sorry about this. There's something in my throat. I am so sorry about that. I had to drink something. And I only had Dr. Pepper in hand because I can't get up to get some water. I should just always have water next to me, but I don't. And so basically, the horses, ducks or birds, which is kind of ironic because they're like, oh, we're here to recruit you, and then they get carried away. And then in the episode, they're back to the exact same point, and they're like, hey, we're here to, and they're like, no. For the next episode, they're like, no, we're gonna work with the Nowhere King, and I'm just like, you're gonna do with the what? Like, do you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna die. Jeez. Like, it's like, oh, we're cold, but we're too hot. We can't feel warmth. And it just doesn't make any sense. But they captured Glendale in that episode. Back to the previous episode. The ducks and the birds actually do a very important part in the season. One of them gets changed by the minotaurs, into like a monster of some kind, which it's like sheer like it's really messed up. Because he doesn't change back. Like all those things and people and like creatures that got changed and killed, yeah, they're gone. Like he's still in there, but it's just a monstrous body. And so they play it off, they try to do their best with play and everything for each the birds guys. And well, at the very end, they're like, hey, yeah, no, we just want it redone. So Zulius is like, well, you can be a part of the story and help us change it if you join us. And it works. And so they fly him back, of course, forgetting, oh geez, I need to remember. I'm looking it up. I'm looking at it. I have the page. I have the website. Ched, of course, since he's a bird, one of the birds, so he just flies, so they just forgot about him twice, like 3 times. What was the 3? Always work. And so, we learn after, like, Gundale gets kidnapped by them because, she gets stuck on the other side of the ice because they break the ice because, if they're working for the Nowhere King, they gotta slow them down. And so, then, she's like, she turns into this Steve Jobs kind of thing, going to a TED Talk, and it's like, yes, I can help you in all of your things. And then she gets them to go for their side because they have anxiety, and she helps them breathe in a bag. Instead of getting angry, breathe into a bag, and it helps. Now they got these really buff dudes into the war. And next episode is Holes Part 3 because holes. Where Horse and Womwink and all of them go down back to the Moltars to ask them to dig a hole because they figured out that the Moltars and all of the monsters, like the Centaurs like that, can dig holes through the rift. Basically, they can go through any way they want, which is kind of powerful. Like, no one ever mentioned that before. I guess that's kind of weird. And so we learned that Ryder, in that episode, has a new horse called Becky Apples. And that horse is a nightmare. That, like, character, that's just, like, quiet, but it's really terrifying? You could just look at it and just tell that they are not normal. Yeah, that's Becky Apples in a nutshell. I'm pretty sure that horse has killed more people than the people have. Many Minotaurs. Well, and probably both. And, they're like, oh, yeah, Jeffica, which is the llama lady that Llama Wing fell in love with the merf sunfish guy. And, it's like, oh, yeah, she accidentally pulled off a Jeffica because of the thing, like a big get together at the end of it. Because, like, we're gonna get everyone together and realize that they're not so different after all. So that works. Horse and Llama Wing get them all together. There's a joke about how Glendale put on a fake mask in disguise, but it's actually a different type of person that just speaks Spanish and that looks like Glendale exactly. And it's like, oh, ain't that something? And then the next episode is very, very kind of really important. It's bunch of scrunch. I'm probably gonna do a review on each episode individually because I'm kind of doing that now, but it really doesn't matter. In this episode, Horse realizes she has the backstory powers. And so she goes into everyone's backstory and realizes that it's kind of messed up. Shed wanted to be a horse star, galloping flowers guy, and once he did, he got laughed at, and, he really never let his guard down since. It's realized that, oh, good gravy, I forgot his name. Durpleton, the reason he's like that, and the reason why he asks so much for questions and such, and, like, fatherly appreciation is because his father more or less kind of abused him. Not really, like, physically, but he left him, he didn't talk to him, he abandoned him. Now, what the hell is that kind of father? And then he shows up at the end and is like, yes, and they have another kid, which makes up the entire question that they have a kid, for some reason. But, we go through all of the characters' backstories, except for Zoe's. Like, of all the characters, why not Zoe's? I wanted to see it, and I didn't get to see it. I'm sad. But I wonder what Zoe's backstory is, because we really never get to see it. It's like, oh, yeah. Also, talking about Zoe's, he's horny. I swear. He's just like, yeah, I want that. Oh, please, let me do that. Oh, why can't I do that to you? And then it's just like, oh, yeah, we have a ship name now because we got back together. Like Stripes on Stripes. You've been seeing it through the slideshow, even though there's not that many images. Sorry that I couldn't find that many. And I'm just like, oh, there it is. Like Stripes on Stripes. Hold on, let me move it. Like Zulius. What the heck is that? What? Oh yeah, I have no bottom to the pipe, so don't worry, guys. I'm just a magical floating deer in a pipe. Don't question it. Like, really? And they also have the powers to freeze time thing. Wait, why didn't they do that with the Nowhere King? I mean, yeah, the spoiler warning for the last episode. Yeah, Horse jumped in and found out about the Nowhere King backstory and such, and it's just like really sad because you realize he just all did it for love and such. But it's just like, what? It kind of seems sudden, but also I kind of could feel the tension there. It's just something. But yeah, the Hootenanny, that's what it's called. The episode after that, is Becky Apples, which Riders rescues like Water Baby and such, and everything. It's kind of interesting. The Hootenannies, where all of them get together, and celebrate. The trees shamans, the whale shaman, all of them show up. They could have really used the tornado centaur. Just imagine how useful that would be, just managing to blow them all away. It's like, oh, a cheap. There goes all the minotaurs. It's like, why did no one think of that? It's like, simply a sneeze from the thing could probably blow it all away. I feel like the thing's huge, and it's multiple souls and such together. So why didn't they bring it? Probably because it's either dead because they shot it or something. But the season finale is definitely interesting. We see Horse go into the mind of the Nowhere King, realizing that the Nowhere King is just angry at the general because he took everything from him and probably tortured him in that cell for years on end. Because if he dies, the elk, the general dies. That's why the generals never killed the Nowhere King until the very end. And when I'm telling you this, at the very season finale, at the very end, it made me cry. I am telling you the truth. The final episode of the season actually made me cry. I was touched, I was crying, I was feeling like, oh my gosh, if they do not pull a fast one on me, I'm gonna be so upset. They luckily did. But I swear, this season is amazing, and I know it's the last one of the series, but I wouldn't be upset with a movie in a 15-part season show. I know that's a lot, maybe less, but I want more content out of this. I really, really do, and I wish it didn't have only a few seasons, because I just felt like, oh, there's not enough content for it. I can't wait to see like what the fans make and everything, because there's like fan creations, fan art, fan animations gonna come out of this. Riffs, series, sequels maybe. How cool would it be like a sequel of seeing Ryder and her kid or something? Like going through like all of Centaurworld, meeting everyone, and seeing Horse at the very end. And also, I was really hoping Becky Apples would come to Centaurworld so her and Horse can talk it out. That's just me. But guys, I would give this show a 9.9 out of 10. The only reason I can't, actually, 10 out of 10. The show's amazing. I'd recommend it. A little bit older audience, maybe a little bit of a younger preteen. Make sure your kids, if you are watching it with the kids, make sure you keep an eye on them while watching it. And please, 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 I am begging of you, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Probably not going to hear this, but please do. I am really hoping that this video gets out there, because this video has made me so happy, and I am so close into reaching my 100 subscribers goal, so then I can do a Q&A with you guys. So I am so happy about all of this, guys. Please do all of that, and also share it, and goodbye.